Hello, my name is Nathan Whittacre, CEO of Stimulus Technologies, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about cleaning your computer. Many times IT professionals say clean your computer, and that means getting the spyware or viruses or unwanted software off your computer. But it's essential to look at the physical aspects of cleaning your computer also. Your computer requires good airflow through it to work efficiently. Your computer has some items in there that generate a lot of heat. The CPU is a big heater, and it requires good cooling to work efficiently. Also, your hard drive has a motor in it that spins at high rates of speed and generates a lot of heat. If there's not good airflow through your computer, or there's a lot of heat buildup inside your computer, it can cause damage to those components. It can cause your computer to slow down, or even worse, destroy the hardware components permanently inside your computer. So it's important to periodically clean your computer. When you're going to do that, it's important that you're grounded before opening the computer up. If you don't have a grounding mat like what I have here, try to find something metal to touch to remove any static electricity from your body. The first thing to do when cleaning your computer is look at the outside of your computer. If there's any dust buildup, just wipe it off briefly with a linen-free cloth, and that will remove the dust on the outside of your computer. But that's not enough. You need to look at the other parts of your computer. The computer often has an air inflow in the front and exhaust in the back. So the air flows through your computer and has some fans that push the air in and out of your computer. So to properly clean it, we have to open it up. Just blowing air inside these inlets and exhaust will just push the dust inside and will cause other problems with your computer. If your computer is excessively dirty, I recommend taking it outside so you don't inhale any of the dust when cleaning your computer. This one we're going to go ahead and open up in here, and this computer just is a screwless design, so I just have to flip this latch and open up the panel of the computer, which exposes the internal parts of your computer. You'll notice that there is a fan here in the front, and there's definitely some dust buildup in that area. If you look also, the CPU on this computer is here in the front, and then there is a what's called a heat sink that the air flows through, which cools that CPU. Though that heat sink often gets very dirty and has a lot of dust buildup. Also, there's a power supply in the back, and there is a fan in the power supply that will take the exhaust air out of the computer. So, when cleaning the computer, it's important to take and clean all those air inlets and outlets effectively. I recommend a can of compressed air or some type of other pressure air so that you can blow the dust through your computer. When cleaning it, you can either push the dust out, which is recommended, but if you can't do that, you can blow through your computer and make sure the dust is vented out. So I'm going to take the can of compressed air and blow through this air inlet in the front, and you can see the dust being pushed out of your computer. And then dust off the inside of your computer and get that dust out. Also in the back here, I mentioned that the power supply has a fan in there, and oftentimes there's a lot of dust that builds up in the power supply, and it's important to blow through that area. I'm not going to go through and clean this whole computer because I'd recommend taking this one particularly outside since it's so dirty, but you want to remove as much dust as possible from the inside of your computer, and that will allow the computer to run as efficiently and as effectively as possible, and also protect your computer so you can get the maximum life out of your computer. The other thing that I'd like to mention, especially in hot environments or dusty environments, your power supply is really the lifeblood of your computer. It's what generates and provides electricity to the rest of your components. Expect the average life of a power supply to be about 2 to 3 years, maybe a few years more, but don't be surprised if the power supply goes out. Luckily, it's an inexpensive component, but it is something that you have to periodically replace. So that's the inside of your computer, and it's important to have it effectively cleaned. I recommend doing it usually once a year, maybe more often in a dirty environment or less often in a clean environment. Or you can have your IT professionals do it for you. Again, Nathan Whittacre with Stimulus Technologies on how to physically clean your computer.